And you're going to grow long and tall in your spine. Lengthen out through your spine. And let your shoulders soften down your back. Bring the right hand to rest in your lap. So the back of the right hand resting in the lap, and then the top of the left hand is going to rest in the right one, and then let your thumbs touch together. So this is Dhyana Mudra. This is my all-time favorite mudra to take. And it helps with clarity and concentration, amongst other things. Those are the things that come to mind. And I can always use more of those, personally. If you have not closed your eyes down yet, do so now. And softening your face, neck, and jaw. And just taking these next few moments to tune in to right here and right now. Taking some deep breaths to arrive in this very moment. So most of you are probably winding your day down. So leaving behind the previous events of the day, letting them fall into the background. And every time your mind wanders to your to-do list for after you walk out the door here, just gently mentally push those thoughts away. So the here and the now is the only place that life actually exists. The past is done and the future remains to be seen. And entertaining our hand mudra also helps as well. So if you'd like to continue with the hand mudra, go ahead and do so. If not, you can release your hands and let them rest wherever is comfortable. So perhaps you let the tops of your hands rest on either leg. Perhaps you let both palms, each palm rest on each leg. The heat has zapped my brain and I can't talk this evening apparently. Or taking some other hand position that is comfortable. We're going to start with a simple 3-part breath pattern. So our inhales are going to begin at the very bottom of our belly. Middle of the inhale is going to rise up through the midsection. Top of the inhale is going to land at the top of the chest. The 3-part inhale. And then our exhale is just going to be one fell swoop of just releasing all of those areas back down towards our back body. We're going to do 10 rounds of that. So this is going to help us show up and arrive in the here and the now. And we'll begin now. So inhale, beginning at the bottom of the belly, rising up through the midsection. Top of the inhale lands at the top of the chest. Exhale to release, letting all of those areas relax back down towards your back body. Inhale, bottom of the belly, rising up through the midsection, landing at the top of the chest. Exhale to release, drawing all of those areas back towards your back body, letting them sink down. Inhale, bottom of the belly, rising up through the midsection, landing at the top of the chest. And then exhale to release. 2 more and then we'll take a little break. inhale to begin at the bottom of the belly, rise up to the midsection, landing at the top of the chest. And then exhale to release back down. Inhale, bottom of the belly, rising up through the midsection, landing at the top of the chest. And then exhale to release. Just for a couple of rounds, return to your normal breath pattern. Noticing any differences here. And then 5 more rounds. So inhale, beginning at the bottom of the belly, rising up through the midsection, landing at the top of the chest. Exhale, sigh it out and release, letting all of those areas release back down. Inhale, bottom of the belly, rise up through the midsection, land at the top of the chest. Top of the inhale, top of the chest. And then exhale, release back down. 3 more. Inhale, beginning at the bottom of the belly, rising up through the midsection, landing at the top of the chest. And then exhale, release back down. Inhale, bottom of the belly, rise up through the midsection, land at the top of the chest. And then exhale, release back down. Last one, inhale, beginning at the bottom of the belly, rising up through the midsection, landing at the top of the chest, and then exhale, releasing back down. And then just come back to your natural breath pattern. And notice any differences that this little simple breath pattern may have created in your aura and your physical body. So as we had said last week, we are entertaining our Niyamas theme. So we have reached the end of the theme of the Niyamas. And the final tenet from the Niyamas is Ishvara Pranidhana. So that translates to surrender to the divine. So as I had mentioned last week, in case you need a little refresher, the Niyamas are the second limb of the Eightfold Path as outlined in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. So they are personal ethical observances. And so our theme last week, having a senior moment, our theme last week was, I can't remember what the 4th tenet is, regardless. Our theme this week is Ishvara Pranidhana, which, as I said, is surrender to the divine. So Pranidhana, the word Pranidhana means surrender, and Ishvara means the divine. And so take these next several moments to tune into what your meaning of the divine is. So that can be different for all of us. And perhaps it's God or Jesus. Perhaps it is Mother Earth. And perhaps it is just the universe itself. Perhaps it is unknown to you. But I think we can all agree on some level that there is something out there that is bigger than us, albeit any of the aforementioned things or beings. Just take these next few moments. Tune into whatever your belief system in that is. And maybe you even pray, so maybe even say a little prayer to whomever or whatever that is. If that doesn't suit you, if that doesn't sit well with you, then just tune in and send some loving energy to that entity. And so also with the theme of surrender, I like to think of surrendering to what is. So perhaps you have a pattern in your life that you are fighting against. So perhaps it's a yoga pose. Perhaps there's a yoga pose that you just can't quite get more deeply into. And while it's okay to practice going a little further, perhaps surrendering to the idea of what is in that pose is okay as well. Slowly fluttering your eyes open, and if you have any props underneath of you, you guys I don't think do, but if you do, you're going to move them off to the side. You're going to make your way to child's pose. So child's pose, Balasana, is a very great representation of surrender. And so hips are going to come to heels. You're going to walk your hands out in front of you. Let your forehead travel down to or towards the earth. If your hips do not come to your heels, please feel free to grab a hold of one of your blocks and place it under your hips as you come into this wonderful posture. And we are here for 5 breaths. So a wonderful, wonderful way to come into the idea of surrender. And so I'll let you take these 5 breaths nice and quietly on your own, and perhaps you entertain the 3-part breath that we started with. And once you've taken your final breath of the 5, next inhale, raise your gaze up, look in between your hands, and then as you exhale, you're going to make your way up to a tabletop position. And keeping your blocks close by, you're going to step your right foot forward. So right sole of the foot on the outside of the right hand. Your back toes, your left toes can be curled or not. That is entirely your choice, whatever feels best for you. Next inhale, you're going to clasp all 10 fingers together. Rise your torso up. Rest your, I like to call this a basket. Rest the basket of your palms on your right knee. Then as you exhale, drag right hip forward, left hip back, and sink your hips down low towards the earth. Beautiful. Inhale, back your torso up to stack a little more over your hips. So even keep your hips low as you do this. You'll feel the left so the left frontal hip muscle turn on. Exhale to stay. Take another deep breath in right here. And exhale. Next inhale, we're going to release the clasp of the hands. Grab a hold of your blocks. So either setting, whatever feels good to you. We're going to come into some splits. So we're going to move our hips back towards our heels and we're going to kind of flow. So you might want to play around with the setting that works best in your body. Once you get your blocks where you're starting with, and you can move them throughout the flow. Next inhale, drag your heart forward, draw your shoulders down your back, hips sink down low. And then exhale, we're going to back the hips up towards the back heel, tuck your chin in towards your chest. So you'll notice my right leg is not completely straight. That's okay if your hamstrings need some space. Raising your right toes up, inhale, we're going to rock forward once again. Pull the heart through the shoulders, shoulders down the back. And then exhale, we're going to let the hips come back towards the left heel. See if you can keep them squared. Inhale, rock forward once again, shoulders down the back. And then exhale, hips come down towards the left heel. We're going to do 2 more. Inhale, 2, rock forward, shoulders down the back. Really pull the heart through the shoulders. Forward through the shoulders. Exhale, hips come back towards your left heel. Last one, inhale, we rock forward. Let the hips sink down low. Pull the heart through the shoulder blades. And then exhale, chin to chest, navel to spine, hips back towards the left heel. Inhale, we're going to rock forward once again, coming into a low lunge position. So we're going to move the blocks over here. Raise your fingertips forward and up towards the sky. Then as you exhale, your palms touch and you're going to twist to the right. So your left elbow is on the outside of your right knee. Feel free to pad under your left knee if it gets too much to have it down on the earth. Inhale, we're going to draw our heart towards our thumbs and our thumbs towards our heart. So we're really twisting. See if you can keep your hips level as you do this. And then exhale, unwind and release. Perhaps you use the block once again under your left hand. So we're going to let the left hand rest on the block or the earth. Inhale, back your right hand up behind you. See if you can bring your gaze behind you here. Exhale, sink your hips down low. Beautiful work. Take a full inhale here, in through the nose. Stay right where you are, or bend the right knee. Exhale, see if you can grab a hold of your right foot with your right hand. If you cannot grab a hold, it's okay to just leave your hand back. It's okay to even just stay right where you are. That's okay. Take a full inhale here, in through the nose. Are you okay? Okay. Exhale, sink your hips down even more deeply. See if you can keep the right knee in towards center and twist even more to the right. I know I always get a Charlie horse in this thigh too, or the hamstring, not the thigh. Take a full inhale here, one more time, one more breath. And then exhale, we're going to release. Place both blocks off to the side. Inhale, we're going to come up to a low lunge, low runner's lunge position. So straightening your left leg. Shoulders are down your back, away from your ears. Exhale, palms plant, and we make our way to our wonderful downward facing dog. So downward facing dog feels really good after that little stretch. And so you're grounding down through the 4 corners of your palms. Grip your mat with your finger pads. Perhaps you turn your fingers out to face the front corners of the mat. That helps. In my body, that helps a little bit with wrist strain. Next, inhale, we're going to bend the knees, raise the heels and hips up high. And then exhale, heels and heart melt down towards the earth. And perhaps you find some movement here in your downward facing dog. So perhaps you bend your knees, pedal your feet, sway from side to side, shake your head, yes and no. Perhaps you stay completely still. Regardless, 2 more breaths right here. Inhale to expand. Exhale, navel to spine. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, drawing your navel towards your spine, coming back to center, back to stillness. Next, inhale, we're going to float the left toes up towards the sky. See if you can keep your shoulders squared. And you can always keep the right knee down if this is too intense. Exhale, we're going to draw the left knee in towards center, float your torso forward, and however you can get that left foot in between your hands, that's where we're going. Dropping your right knee down to the earth. We're going to do all of that stuff we just did on the other side. So grabbing a hold of your blocks. Perhaps you have them on the second setting. Perhaps you have them up high. So I encourage you to kind of experience, get curious with how that goes. All right, next inhale, drop your hips down low, shrug your shoulders down your back, pull your heart through center. Exhale, float your hips back towards your right heel. Notice the difference in sides. Drawing your left toes up, chin in towards your chest. 4 more of these. Inhale, we're going to rock forward, drop the hips down, pull the heart through center. Exhale to back your hips up towards your right heel, chin to chest, navel to spine. Inhale, rocking forward, drop the hips, pull the heart through the shoulder blades. Exhale, hips towards the heels, hips towards the right heel, chin to chest. 2 more. Inhale to rock forward, hips sink it down low, heart pulls through the shoulder blades. Exhale, rock back towards the back of your mat. Inhale, drawing yourself forward, heart comes through, and then exhale, hips back towards the back heel. Next inhale, we're going to come forward to our low lunge position. So we're going to move our blocks out to the sides. Once again, fingertips float up towards the sky. And then exhale, palms touch in prayer. Look at this, I have mirrors. Boy, I don't even know how to act. Right elbow on the outside of the left knee. And we're coming into a prayer twist position. I can still see you guys. That's so exciting. Inhale, it's the little things. Inhale, drawing your heart towards your thumbs, thumbs towards your heart. Let your shoulders really work to be down your back. Beautiful. Exhale to stay. Take another deep breath in. And exhale, we release perhaps. You don't have to, but perhaps you bring the block on the inside of the left foot and let the right palm rest on the block, or you can come all the way down to the earth. So notice the difference between which way you do that, and notice the difference in sides. Inhale, we're going to float the left hand behind us. Let the right hand be on the block or on the earth. Exhale, sink your hips down low. So you want to try to keep that left knee in towards center if you can. And if you can't, that's okay too. Same thing has happened to me twice today. Please don't feel bad. Inhale, reach through your left fingertips. Exhale, perhaps you bend the right knee, and perhaps you grab a hold of the right foot with the left hand. So you notice I backed my hips up when I did this, and then you can go back into it. Sometimes that gives you just enough space. Sometimes. Inhale, shrug both shoulders down the back. Really twist your heart open to the left. I'm just so excited that I have mirrors. Exhale to sink your hips down low. Take a full breath in here. And exhale to release your back foot. Let your fingertips frame your front foot. Inhale, we're going to straighten the back leg. Shoulders are down and away from the ears. Exhale, plant your palms and make your way to your downward facing dog. Pressing firmly into the 4 corners of the palms, grip the mat with the finger pads. Adjust your hands to help with wrist strain if you need. Next, inhale, bend the knees, raise the heels and hips up high. Exhale, heels and heart melt down towards the earth. Inhale, we're going to look up in between the hands here. And then exhale, we're going to walk our feet all the way up to the top of the mat. So another great representation in yoga posture land for surrender is our forward fold, Uttanasana. So letting the crown of the head travel down towards the earth. Drawing your chin up towards your chest. Let your head and arms be heavy. 3 full breaths right here. Inhale to expand. Feeling your belly, chest, and side bodies expand out from underneath of you. And exhale, drawing your navel towards your spine. Take a full expansive inhale here.
Exhale, navel to spine. Last one. Inhale to expand out from underneath of you. And exhale to release. Chin in towards the chest, head and arms are heavy. Pressing down through the four corners of the feet, spread out through your toes. Keeping a soft bend in the knees. Next inhale, we're going to roll ourselves all the way up. And exhale, we meet in our Tadasana mountain pose. I don't know why I can never talk when I teach. If I was teaching myself at home, I'd nail it. Next inhale, we're going to let the palms touch together at heart center. Exhale, tuck your tailbone up towards your belly button. Let your shoulders come down your back. Inhale, we're going to rise the pressed palms up towards the sky. Exhale, swan dive down, leading with your heart to come into your forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, raising up to a flat back. And then exhale, nose towards the knees to fold. Next, inhale, reverse swan dive. Arms come out and up. Palms touch up top. Tuck the tailbone. Exhale, palms land at heart center. So we're going to do those movements 2 more times. Inhale, palms press together. Rise them up. Exhale, swan dive down. Lead with your heart. Crown of the head down towards the earth to fold. Inhale, hands on the shins. We're rising up to a flat back, shoulders down the back. And then exhale, nose towards the knees to forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Arms out and up, palms touch up top, and they land at heart center. And exhale, shoulders down the back. Right, last one for this little movement. Inhale, palms press together, raise them up high. Exhale, swan dive down. Lead with your heart to fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, raise up to a flat back, shoulders down the back. And then exhale, nose towards the knees to fold. Next, inhale, head and arms heavy once again. Coming up through that zombie raise. Feeling the little stretch in the back space behind your heart as you keep your arms and head heavy. And then exhale, Tadasana. All right, inhale, circle the arms out and up, fingertips reach up high. Exhale, palms touch and travel down through heart center to fold. Inhale, this time we let our fingertips float behind us as we raise up to a flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your fingertips, step your right toes back. Let your right knee drop to the earth, and remember, if you need to pad, that's totally okay. Inhale, fingertips forward and up. Back your torso up over your hips. Your left knee is stacked over left ankle. And then exhale, gently drag right hip forward, left hip back. Sink them down low. Beautiful. Inhale, reach a little higher through the fingertips. Arc into your spine. Exhale, circle your arms down and around. Fingertips plant on the earth around your foot. You can always also use your blocks if you'd like. Next, inhale, we're going to straighten the back leg, tops of the shoulder heads down and away from the ears. Maybe you draw in through your core and get light in your hands. Beautiful. Exhale, too. Plant your palms and make your way to your downward facing dog. Next, inhale, chin towards the chest. We're going to roll our bodies forward into our plank pose. And then exhale, lower yourself all the way down to the earth. You can always drop your knees if you need to do that. Releasing all 10 toenails, palms under the shoulders. Inhale, we're going to peel our heart up for our cobra pose. Look up high. Exhale, we're going to come into a posture called full prostration. So you're going to bring your palms to touch out in front of you. Your forehead is going to come down to the earth. And you are going to keep your all 10 toenails released here. So this is another excellent representation of surrender. 3 breaths right here. Inhale to expand. Exhale, navel to spine. Take another deep breath in. Feel your belly expand out from underneath of you. Exhale, navel to spine. Take another deep breath in here. And exhale. Next inhale. Palms are under the shoulders again. Tuck your toes. And then exhale. We come back up to our downward facing dog. Stepping your left toes in the center of your mat. Inhale, you're going to float the right toes up behind you. See if you can check in that your shoulders are squared. Exhale, 2, round your spine, roll your body forward, draw your right knee in towards your nose, and as gracefully as you can, even if that's not graceful, step your right foot in between your hands. Beautiful work. If you're getting there, you're doing something. Next inhale, kick off of your back foot. So we're coming into a standing splits position. And yes, you can always use your blocks. Exhale, you're going to drop your left hip down, raise your right hip up. Take a full breath in, point into your left toes. Breath out, gently bend into the right knee, draw the bent left knee behind it, and nose towards the right knee. So this is called Jiva squats. Inhale, we're going to straighten back out once again. So straighten the right leg and the left one, point into the left toes. Exhale, Jiva squat. So you're curling up into a little ball, bending the left knee and putting it behind the right one. We're going to do one more of these. Inhale to expand. Beautiful. Exhale, curl up in your little ball into your Jiva squat. Inhale, expand one more time here. And then exhale, quietly let the left foot fall back to about 3/4 back on your mat. We're going to set up for pyramid pose. So once again, using your blocks might be a great way to help you get into this posture. Keeping your blocks on whatever height that you'd like to have them. Inhale, we're going to float our fingertips up high. We are squared and ready for our pyramid pose. Dragging your left hip forward, right hip back. Exhale, bring your arms behind you and see if you can touch opposite elbows. So if you can't touch opposite elbows, perhaps you clasp your hands. Perhaps you just let your arms rest. That is all your choice and what works in your body. Inhale, grow long and tall in the spine. Breathe out through the crown of the head. Tuck your tailbone up towards your belly button. Exhale, see if you can lean forward. And once you get down there, release the grip of your arms and place your hands on your blocks. Or you can keep your arms up here. So that's yogi's choice too. This is quite the balance challenge for me. Inhale 2, breathe out through the crown of the head, raise up about halfway. Exhale, perhaps you bring your nose towards your right knee. So bending into that right knee as much as you need to. You can even play around with the positioning by walking that back foot just a little more forward. So that gives you some more space in your hamstrings. Take a full inhale here in through the nose. Exhale, navel to spine. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, inhale, expand out through your belly, chest, and side bodies. And exhale. Next inhale, we raise up halfway, move the blocks out of the way, and then as we exhale, we step our left big toe to meet our right one, and we come back into our forward fold. Next inhale, reverse swan dive, arms out and up,
palms touch up top, tuck the tailbone. Exhale, our palms land at heart center. It's a good thing we only have two sides. We have another side to do. Next, inhale, palms pressed together, raise them up high. Exhale, this time we swan dive down. Hinge at the hips, nose towards the knees to fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Let your fingertips stretch and float behind you. So coming up for a flat back. Exhale, plant your fingertips, step your left toes back this time, and your left knee comes down to the earth, perhaps on a blanket. Inhale, fingertips forward and up. We're in our Anjaneyasana, low lunge position. Drag left hip forward, right hip back. You ladies look beautiful. Exhale, sink them down low. So not only are we doing heart opening, we're doing lots of hip opening this evening. Inhale, arc into the spine, float your fingertips back, gaze goes up high. Exhale to circle your arms down and around nice and wide. Fingertips frame your front foot. Perhaps you have them on blocks, so that is your choice. Inhale, straighten your back leg, tops of the shoulder heads down and away from the ears. Maybe you get light in your fingers. Look at you go. Exhale to plant your palms and make your way to Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, chin in towards the chest. We're rolling our body forward into our plank pose. Exhale, draw your elbows close to your ribs and lower yourself all the way down to the earth. Releasing all 10 toes, palms are planted under our shoulders. Inhale, we're going to peel the heart up and raise our gaze up towards the sky, Bhujangasana, Cobra pose. And then exhale to come back into that full prostration. So letting your palms touch together, your forehead touches down with the earth. 3 full complete breaths here. Inhale to expand. Exhale, navel to spine. Inhale to expand. Exhale, navel to spine. Fullest, deepest inhale, expanding out through your belly, chest, and side bodies. And exhale, navel to spine. Next, inhale, we release the grip of the palms, bring them back to rest under the shoulders. Curl the toes, raise your gaze, and then exhale, hinge your hips, and we're back into our downward facing dog. Right toes are going to come to the center of the mat. Inhale, left toes raise up high. See if you can keep the shoulders squared here. Exhale to round the spine. Let your torso float forward, left knee to nose, and then stepping that left foot in between the hands, however you can get it there. If you made it, you're doing great. Doesn't matter how. Next, inhale, we kick off of the back foot, so we're meeting in our standing splits. So perhaps you have your blocks here. Perhaps you do not. Right toes are pointed straight out behind you. Raise left hip up, right hip down. And then exhale, come into your little ball, so your little jiva squat. Right knee behind the left, both knees are bent, chin towards the chest. Inhale, we rise back up. So we have 2 more of these. Exhale, we round and come into a ball. Inhale, rise back up. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Exhale, jiva squat. Next, inhale, we rise up one last time. Point out through the right toes. Exhale, step that right foot back about half to 3/4 of the way. And we're going to set up for our pyramid pose. So perhaps you want to use your blocks. Perhaps you do not.
Left toes are pointed forward. Both knees are straight but soft. Inhale, we're going to float our fingertips forward and up towards the sky. Exhale to, perhaps you drop your hands down and let them touch opposite elbows. Inhale, drag your right hip forward, left hip back. So that really squares everything. Squares your entire torso forward, which is what you want here. Exhale to lead with your heart. Draw your chin just slightly forward. Come down nice and slow towards the earth. So perhaps you have your blocks here. Perhaps you release your hands. Perhaps you keep them on opposite elbows. I'm going to release my hands because my blocks are waiting to help me here. Inhale to grow long and tall in the spine. Exhale, perhaps you go further and draw your nose towards your left knee. So this might ask a lot of you. You might be asking too much of your body to go forward. So it's totally okay to not. Take a full breath in through the nose, right where you are. Exhale, navel to spine. Take another deep breath in. And exhale. Inhale to expand. And exhale to release. Next inhale, we're rising up halfway once again. We're going to move the blocks out of the way. Fingertips forward towards the front of the mat. Exhale, right big toe meets the left, and we fold. So we've done a lot of hamstring and hip opening. Perhaps your hamstrings are open enough that you can keep your knees straight. Perhaps you still want to keep a bend in them if your hamstrings still need some more space. That is okay. 3 breaths right here. Inhale to expand. And exhale, navel to spine. Take another deep breath in. And exhale. Last one. Inhale to expand here. And exhale. All right, next inhale, reverse swan dive. Arms out and up. Fingertips reach up high. Palms touch. Tuck your tailbone up. And exhale, palms land at heart center. We're going to do that little Jiva squat flow once again, but we're going to add on something a little different. Inhale, touching palms, reach up towards the sky, gaze goes up. Exhale, swan dive down, lead with your heart to come into your forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, rise up to a flat back, shoulders are down the back. Exhale, we plant our palms and step straight back to our downward facing dog. Gripping your mat with your finger pads, press down through the 4 corners of the palms. Inhale to bend the knees. Raise the heels and hips up high. Shoulders are down and away from your ears. Exhale, heels and heart melt down to the earth. Stepping your left toes in center. Inhale, we float the right toes up high. So you can keep your shoulders squared. Exhale, drawing your right knee in towards your nose, round your spine, float your torso forward, and step your right foot, however you can get it, in front of your hands. I always feel like I'm going to fall. I'm so dumpy doing that. I don't know. I do it anyway. Inhale to kick off of your back foot. So we're back in that standing splits position once again. And then exhale, let your left hip fall down, raise your right hip up, drawing your navel towards your spine. And remember, you can use your blocks if you'd like. Inhale, we're going to rise up even further if we can. Exhale, come into your little ball, so your little Jiva squat. Just 3 rounds of this, ladies. Inhale 2, stretch out through those back toes, rising up. It is much easier with blocks, I think. Exhale 2, round in towards center, coming into your little ball. Last one, inhale 2, expand, rise up. This time as we exhale, let that left foot fall all the way back, cartwheel your arms up, and then inhale, we land in our reverse warrior. I'm still just flabbergasted and thrilled that I have mirrors. Exhale to stay, take a full breath in here. And exhale, see if you can sink down deeper into that right knee. Your left hand is gently on your left leg. Take a full breath in here. And exhale, cartwheel the arms forward and down. Inhale, we're going to let the hips sink down low. Low runner's lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, one last time for this little flow. Stepping your left toes in center. Inhale, right toes in center, Left toes float up towards the sky. See if you can keep your shoulders squared. Draw them away from your ears. Exhale, left knee in center, round the spine. Let your torso travel forward. And get that left foot in between your hands, however you can get it there. Next, inhale, perhaps your blocks are there waiting for you. So you rest your hands on your blocks, kick off of your back foot. So coming into our standing splits position. Exhale 2, bend both knees and round and draw into your little ball for your Jiva squat. 2 more here. Inhale 2, expand. We're almost done with the hardest work, ladies. We've got this. Exhale 2, round into your little ball. Inhale 2, expand. Point out through your right toes. Exhale into your little ball. Last one, inhale to expand. Rise up to your standing splits position. Exhale, let your right foot fall back. Cartwheel your arms up. And inhale, we land in our reverse warrior position. Beautiful work, ladies. Exhale, sink down more deeply into that left knee. So your right fingertips are just grazing your right leg. Inhale 2, reach high through your left fingertips. Beautiful work. Exhale 2, cartwheel your arms down and around. Inhale, we land down in our low lunge position, low runner's lunge position. Exhale, let your right knee fall. Let your left knee meet it. And let's meet in a well-deserved, lovely Balasana, child's pose. Reach out through your fingertips. Perhaps you prop your block under your hips. You ladies are awesome. Take a full, expansive breath. Expanding out through your belly, chest, and side bodies, reaching out through your fingertips. Exhale, navel to spine. Fullest, deepest inhale to expand. Exhale, drawing your belly button towards your spine. Take another deep breath in here. And exhale. Next, inhale, let your gaze float up in between your hands. As you exhale, you're going to rock forward to your tabletop position. Move your blocks over. We won't need those as much now. And we're going to set up for pigeon pose. So I always start on the right side. So we're bringing our right knee in towards center. You are letting your palms rest on either side of the right knee. And remembering that you can use a block or a blanket. I always talk about using props, and then I set them so far away from myself I can't get to them. So if your hips are too far up off of the earth, you can always use something to prop underneath. That is best practice.
Palms are framing your front knee. Inhale to press your left shoulder, left hip down and forward. So that really squares and centers everything. Breathe out through the crown of the head. Exhale, perhaps you come into the recline position. So letting one palm rest on the top of the other hand and allowing your upper body to drape over your right leg. Take a deep, expansive inhale here, in through the nose. Exhale, navel to spine. Take another deep breath in here. Exhale, navel to spine. Fullest, deepest inhale. And exhale. Next, inhale, we're going to frame the front knee with both palms. Draw your chin in towards your chest. So you're letting your spine ripple all the way up here. Let your gaze come up towards the sky. Then as you exhale, you're going to remove your blanket or block if you have it. Let the right hip sink down to the earth, and we're going to make our way into our half Lord of the Fishes posture. So if you can't swing the leg around, it's okay. Just get it there however you can. If you're like me and you have knee stuff, so here I'll turn and face you. If you're like me and you have knee stuff, perhaps instead of having the knee bent, you straighten your leg. So that takes some of the ease, or brings some ease to the posture. And it also gets both of your hips more securely down on the earth. This is my bad knee, so I'm going to do that on this side. Bringing your left fingertips behind you. Inhale, you're going to float the right fingertips up high, look up towards the sky. Let your shoulders be down your back. And then exhale, we twist to the left. So the goal is to get that right elbow on the outside of the left knee. Not everybody can do that. You can always give yourself a hug or just rest your hand down if that works better for you. And perhaps you have your block behind you. So if your hand can't reach the earth behind you, then rest your left hand on your block. Take a full inhale here. Breathe out through the crown of the head, keeping your right toes flexed if your leg is straight. And then exhale, see if you can bring your gaze behind you. Fullest, deepest breath in here. And exhale. So inhale, we're going to expand our belly, chest, and side bodies. And then exhale, breath to movement. See if you can twist a little more deeply behind you. Take a full breath in. Breath out, we spin and counter twist in the opposite direction. Breath in, grow long and tall in the spine. And breath out to release. And we're going to make our way to our pigeon pose on the other side. So left knee in between the hands. Perhaps this side is a little more open and you don't need anything under your hips. Perhaps that's not true. Perhaps you need a prop. That's okay. Both palms are framing the front knee. Inhale, press into the palms. See if you can back your torso up over your hips here. Let your shoulders be down your back. And then exhale, we're going to lean forward if you're coming with me. So see if you can stack opposite palm on opposite hand this time. Take another deep breath here, in through the nose to expand. And exhale. Fullest, deepest inhale. And exhale. We're getting a nice opening in the left glute area. Take a full breath in through the nose. Exhale, belly button towards the spine.
Next inhale, we're bringing our gaze up, letting our palms frame our front knee. Draw your chin in towards your chest so you're rippling up through your spine. Let your gaze travel up towards the sky. And exhale, we lean over on the left hip, swing the right leg around, and we come into our half Lord of the Fishes pose. This knee is a little happier, so I can bend the sky. Right fingertips are behind you. Inhale, float your left fingertips up towards the sky. Look up. And then exhale, we twist to the right. So left elbow on the outside of the right knee. You really want to see if you can get that right palm down on a block or towards the earth, because this helps to shrug the shoulders down the back away from the ears. Take a full breath in, breathing long and tall out through the crown of the head. Then exhale, we bring our gaze even more behind us. Moving with our breath, inhale, we expand. And then exhale, move a little more deeply. See if you can twist a little more deeply. Take another deep breath in right here. And then breath out, we counter twist. So twist in the opposite direction. One breath in right here. And we unwind and release as we exhale. And just bounce your knees here. We had a lot of leg and knee bending going on, so it's good to release by bouncing your knees. All right, so we're going to come back to center, back to stillness. Grow long and tall in the spine. So we're in our Dandasana staff pose. Next, inhale, reach your fingertips out in front of you. So sparkle out through your fingertips. Stretch them out nice and wide. Exhale, draw the shoulders down the back. Long and tall in the spine. See if you can flex into your toes. Our final movement is we're going to lay down on purpose. So full breath in here. Breathing out to expand. Breath out. Lay down on purpose. So see if you can keep your heels down on the earth. That is the forever challenge. And I can almost do it, but not quite. But that's okay. Beautiful, ladies. And we meet in our reclined position. And we are going to just go straight into our corpse pose, our Shavasana. So you are finding a position in your body where you can surrender and release all of this work down into the earth that we just did. Perhaps you prop yourself up. Perhaps you just lay flat and spread out nice and wide. Take up lots of space. And bringing your full attention now to your breath. And every time your mind wanders, come back to your breath.
And slowly beginning once again to deepen your breath. Making any final movements while you are still in the reclined position, as windshield wipers, wiggling fingers and toes, circling wrists and ankles. Perhaps you take a long body stretch by raising your arms up overhead and pointing down to your toes. Any other movements that might feel good in your body before making your way back to your comfortable seats. Welcome back. Right, one last moment before we run off of our mats and out into the world. So coming back into your Dhyana Mudra, so your right palm resting upwards towards the sky, back of the left hand resting in the right palm, and let your thumbs touch together. Straighten your spine, your chin is parallel with the earth, your shoulders are soft down your back. Your tongue is off the roof of your mouth, your face and jaw are soft. And just notice how you feel versus an hour ago when we started. Notice how your mind, body, spirit, your aura, how everything is feeling. And releasing your hand mudra and let your palms touch at heart center. Bow your chin in towards your chest and just take a moment to acknowledge the surrendering to your idea of the divine. And thanking your body and your breath for this practice, thanking yourself for showing up as always. That is half of the battle. And bringing your thumbs to touch at your third eye center, the space in between your eyebrows. And in our shared collective offerings, we bow forward. Namaste. Thank you all so much. Any questions, comments, feedback, anything? All right.